If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your fatal words I will choke.
Happy Top 5 Tuesday to everyone in the sports universe. It is June the 21st, 2022. This is the AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, and we are live. For thumbs up, Sammy Ashley, who's back again. There you go. I am Michael Carvelis saying, Sammy, we got to ask the intro, man.
Hey, I'm happy to be back. I missed you guys over the long weekend, but I didn't miss you that much. I was in Pebble Beach, so while my thoughts were with you guys in the show, I was staring at some pretty amazing sights.
That's awesome, dude. I hope you had a good time, but it's back to work, man.
It was absolutely incredible. If you are, I'm not a golfer. I don't play golf, but if you are a golfer and you have not had a chance to play Pebble Beach, it's got to be one of the things on your bucket list. It is absolutely breathtaking.
Breathtaking. I like that word. That's a good word.
Thanks.
I dig it. Who's got the best morning show? I not the best vacation spot, the best morning show.
This guy?
Everyone here.
These guys?
That works too. It's us. It's AM Drive. Go to amdrive.online and make sure you get some merchandise. In fact, if you find another podcast with lower price merchandise, we're so confident it won't be that if you do, we'll price match it and take a loss. So tonight we take an L, but tonight we bounce back. Well, someone I forgot. Really good song. I'm sorry. I always have to do that. So, yeah, price match amdrive.online, lowest price merch, guaranteed. Sammy, lightning struck last night, and now all's well that ends well for the three-peat possibility people. That's a poor nickname for them. The Lightning bounced back, and I'll be honest, they still seem slower than the Avalanche, but man, they roughed and toughed them up, and that's exactly what they needed to do. Vasilevsky was pretty much on lockdown again. He kind of was buttery in the first period, but after that, man, it was over. The save that he made off the rebound, where he stretched his entire leg out this is my arm, but you get it. He stretched his entire leg out just to save the puck. It was absolutely phenomenal. That dude is the reason for this three-peat possibility. You saw about Stamkos and Cirelli and Aaron will name the entire roster and their children off. I don't care. One Vasilevsky is why they won last night. But it was nice seeing them tough them up, though.
Yeah, that is their one huge advantage in the series is the goaltending. I mean, Aaron said that from the beginning, and it did clearly show yesterday. In the first period, it did seem like Colorado was the faster team for the first 15 minutes of that period. And that one offsides call early in the period did go Tampa's way. It could have easily gone the other way. It was about a centimeter from being onside, and it probably ended up starting out Colorado with a 2-0 lead. But from that point forward, it was all Tampa Bay. They were completely dominating, the bigger, tougher team, and it seemed like they got faster and stronger as the game went on. Colorado never was able to mount a comeback. They were just out of it. Vasilevsky, guys, head on straight after giving up that somewhat soft goal that got called back, and then was pretty much the guy we've seen the last few years just dominating on the ice. So, yeah, if they can keep their goaltending advantage that big, I mean, this is going to be a tough series for Colorado to win. But until a team wins on the road, it's everybody's just holding serve at home. The series is not close to over.
Darcy Kemper's got to feel kind of awful right now. That man went from giving a 7-0 shutout to being yanked in the second period. And his backup, by the way, that was technically his first loss, although he really doesn't really count as a loss because the damage had already been done. And if I'm not mistaken, when he was pulled, I don't know if I think that guy gave up one goal, if that. So that Frank Koo guy is pretty good.
Yeah, and Aaron made this point in the preview of the series that Francouz, he's the opposite hand than Kemper, and so he has an ability to stop some of the shots coming, with his glove that Kemper doesn't, and that's a big advantage to him when he does play. But they went out and got Darcy Kemper. I mean, they know what they were signing up for with him, and I do think they will probably, if the ship goes down, it goes down with Kemper losing most of those games. I don't think you see Francouz overtake him in this series.
He's been good though.
He has been good. We saw this already. This happened a couple of years ago.
I don't know.
Yeah, his performance in the West Conference Finals were fantastic. I mean, he was lights out, and he played again well last night. But they were already pretty out of it.
That's a fair point. Another fair point is this: if it's any consolation for Avalanche fans, the Lightning didn't score for the rest of the game, like for the third period. I don't believe. So I don't know if they kind of what you don't. I thought it's the same thing in hockey as it is with basketball. I thought the last quarter and the last period matters because in a 7-game series, possibly you don't want to go cold. And that's why the Heat kept in Duncan Robinson in one of those Celtics games because they're like, there's a chance this guy finds his rhythm. Maybe there's a chance that although the Lightning have kind of stepped their foot off the gas, you never want to do that. I know they're the two-time defending champions, but something has to be said. Avalanche could very easily go off 3-1. And something small like letting your foot off the gas and letting them gain some confidence in something, I don't know, man. It's just a thought.
It's possible. I mean, look, Colorado didn't score in the third period either. And they were actively trying to score, trying to get themselves back in the game. They started out the third period literally on fire and couldn't get one past Vazzy. So, I mean, both teams got shut down in the third. And then I think at some point you just sort of resign yourself to this game is over. Let's not get anybody hurt. Which, if you watched, I can't think of who it was. I think it was Kuz got a little bit banged up towards the end of the third period, had to go to the bench. So they can't really afford to lose that guy. I mean, Kucherov is one of the, obviously they're one of the best players, and watching him get taken to the locker room had to really upset Tampa Bay fans in a game where they basically were blowing them out.
Wasn't he the one who was hurt? Like he was kind of like jumping and stretching on the sideline, they thought?
Yeah. They took him out. He kind of limped off, and then I think they took him to the locker room. I wasn't watching. I wasn't watching with all my attention at that time. The game was basically over. But I heard the announcer say that seeing him go to the locker room is pretty scary for Tampa fans, and it definitely is. They need that guy healthy.
Well, I was referring to like this first or second period. I feel like he was the same guy on the bench who was like they were wondering why he was on the bench.
I didn't catch that.
I think that might have been him. It might not have been, but I think it was Kucherov who was on the bench, and they were like Emily Kaplan had to say, oh, he looks like he's just getting loose. And there's something lingering there at this point in the season.
Maybe. I mean, they're already without Braden Point, and they need him.
He can't get. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he's had his lower body injury for most of the playoffs, but when he's on the ice, they're a completely different team. We talked about how Colorado looked faster. If they want to help combat that, they need to get Braden Point back to being healthy. So
the point guard, haha. Shut up, Sammy. Shame on you. Hashtag Sammy's sour. His bet is in peril. I'm kidding. You're still at 2-1. I dig it. Any last parting shots on the Lightning since Aaron's not here?
No, I mean this is the game they had to win. They came out and got off to a little bit of a rough start, but then from that point on, we're the most dominating team in the game by far. I mean, Colorado have played 2 magnificent games at home. If they're going to make this a 7-game series, which is what I predicted, they have to win these games. They have to win, the pivotal game 3s, the pivotal game 5s, and so I expect Tampa Bay will play well again in game 4, and we'll be back to a 3-game series.
Now, do you think that's the way to combat the speed? Real quick here, do you think that the way to combat the speed is to rough and tough them up? Because, like you said, Lightning seemed faster. Maybe that was because the Avalanche got slower and they got more fatigued early on.
I mean, that's one way. I mean, having home ice and having some momentum and getting an early goal, definitely helps. Right. Colorado has not played well from behind They play much better from ahead, and we'll see what Tampa Bay has in store for them in game 2. Vaz is giving up some soft goals. If they can avoid giving up those soft goals in the beginning of the game, I think Tampa can beat them up pretty good in game 4. We'll see.
We will see. Wednesday. That's tomorrow. That's a hump day. Woohoo! All right. Well, we're not there yet. When we come back, how about some top 5 baseball teams and a top 5 way too early NBA teams for next year? We'll be right back to the AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
It is a Top 5 Tuesday here on the AM Drive. For Welcome Back with Sammy Action, I am Michael Carvelis. If you want the best merchandise from your favorite teams, including daily deals, you've got to go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and do what, Mr. Shammy?
Click the F right there.
I got to click the F. When you click the F, the entire Fanatics experience is at your disposal. Today's daily deal is 30% off autographed memorabilia once again, plus the free shipping on $24 or more. You're going to get a great deal on a signed baseball by Mike Trout. Who knows?
Is there any Baker Mayfield stuff left? I know that his time in Cleveland's almost at the end.
Oof. Sammy's taking parting shots. Shame on you, Sammy. Well, yeah, go there, support the show and your favorite team and players. And for that, we namaste.
Hey, maybe Baker Mayfield get traded for Jimmy Garoppolo. The two quarterbacks who are about to lose their job. That would be a good swap.
You know what's funny is Jimmy Garoppolo, man. That dude gets a bad rap for somebody who has done nothing but play good enough to win some games.
You're right. I would love to see
that. He loses games. He just doesn't win them.
It's true. I would love to see that trade happen. I would love for Jimmy G to take Cleveland to the Super Bowl, and then Cleveland have to decide between Jimmy G and Deshaun the next season. Oh, the drama!
Wild. I mean, it could. I mean, if that trade happens, might as well get your Super Bowl bets in now if that's what you're thinking, or AFC Championship bets.
I mean, that's the way too early Super Bowl bets, right?
Whoa! All righty, let's get into it. Well, we'll get into that next, but. Top 5 baseball teams. Sammy, this is week 10 for the show. It's like week 6, probably for you, week 5. All I know is that there's one team that's really, really, really good. So go ahead. Give us your top 5.
Top 5, it remains fairly unchanged. As it turns out, baseball is kind of a slow grind, right? So at number 5, back in my top 5 again, they've kind of come fluctuating. That rotating door of number 5 is the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
Won a big game again last night against St. Louis. Have played fairly well. For me, I know you like run differential as a big stat. For me, when you play well, it ups your chances, right? And so, like, San Diego has a better record, but Milwaukee has played better recently. Also, San Diego just lost their best player, so I think San Diego gets jumped by Milwaukee back into that number 5 spot. For the number 4 spot, team that's been dropping, although they're still a great team, is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They 5-5 in their last 10. They got swept by the Giants last week, and while they remain probably the most talented team in the NL, they just haven't played that way. And you still have to win games despite how much talent and money you have on your roster. They just lost Mookie Betts now, and so they're not going to be nearly as good going forward. But they stay in the top 5 for now. I think they can easily make their way back in. Number 3 on the list are the trash can banging Houston Astros.
Shame on them.
They, look, they just keep winning. They're one of the only 4 teams that have 40 wins. They keep playing, decent baseball. They do all the right things in a fairly weak division. It's hard to knock them out until somebody starts beating them up, Number 2 remain the New York Mets. Again, they are the best team in the NL, and they are about to get back one of their best players. So this team can only get better if DeGrom comes back healthy. And, we will find out after the All-Star break. But until that happens, they can't eclipse the number 1 team. And they really aren't in jeopardy of falling past number 2. They're sort of in that spot pretty solidly right now. And then, of course, number 1, the New York Yankees. They're first team to 50 wins. When they have Garrett Cole pitching the way he pitched yesterday, they are the way, way best team. I mean, if they have a bona fide ace that can just come in and shut you down against anybody, I mean, he's just a dominant player. They're the easiest team to bet to win the World Series now and probably for the rest of the season.
They've been waiting for that guy to finally get going with them, and he took a no-hitter into the 8th inning, so that was pretty significant for them. Probably a bright spot.
He is 6-1 on the season. He had a couple bad games, throughout the year, but he's pitched well enough. But this was a very dominating performance last night.
Aaron Judge hit like 25 home runs. He's the fastest since Albert Pujols in 06.
Yeah.
Little stats for Sammy there.
That's a good one. That is definitely a good one.
Right.
Also, the right field bleachers calling themselves the Judges Chamber is one of the best nicknames for any group of fans.
That's awesome. I cannot stand Aaron Judge. I think he's I don't know if he's roided because that would be cheap, but I'm telling you what, dude, that's a gigantic individual.
He's
I don't think the roids would really help him too much.
His neck is thicker than my leg, and let me tell you, my legs are not small.
It's like LeBron James, like batting. You're like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess he's jacking home runs. It makes sense.
He's a super
he's
talented guy.
6'7", right?
I mean, he's always had this potential. We've talked about him as a great player for years. He's just never shown it quite this much.
He was just like a strikeout swinger before. Now he's not striking out. He's smacking them.
Well, I mean, I think in baseball these days everybody strikes out. That's kind of there are no Tony Gwynns in this league anymore. They don't find ways to slap him on base. They either hit a home run or they strike out.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss league. Ha. Number 5 for me is those trash can banging bastards. You heard me bang my table right there?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. They're back in the top 5. Congratulations. I want to talk about it. Number 4, the Fathers. The Padres are up to number 4 now. This might be their highest. Yes, it is. This is their second straight week in the top 5, and it's their second week total in the top 5. And they're playing pretty good right now. So the Fathers are up there, but like you said, Manny Machado is kind of, in or out right now. They don't know. They're trying to avoid the IL, but it might happen. Number 3, the Dodgers are still there. They're the only team besides the Mets who are in my top 5 for the first 10 weeks. They're still on a $1.14 run differential. I still hold that for them, and I still believe Mookie Betts. I don't know how injured he is. I haven't really checked that, but I don't know if you have that. I mean, he's not that badly injured, is he?
Yeah, I think he fractured a foot. Let me look it up real quick.
No! It's all over. I think they have to sign somebody for him, so that would make sense. But they're right now number 3, and with 114, they might be in there for a couple more weeks before they finally fall down. Number 2, is that what it was?
Oh, he cracked a rib. That's what it is. He cracked a rib.
That's not too bad. I mean, it's better than a fractured foot.
It is. No,
I mean, I'd rather have a cracked rib. It might be more comfortable, but you get it. It's just, you get it. Number 2, the New York lovable Mets. Because unlike the other team in New York, this team's actually easy to root for. You got Jacob DeGrom coming back. You got Max Scherzer, who's a monster. You've got Francisco Lindor, who wins when he's with the Indians, and now he wins when he's with the Mets. But they've tried to plug and play a bunch of superstars. This guy seems to be the consistent on both teams. Of course, the Guardians are still good, but, just saying, Lindor's helped them out a little bit. Number 2, that was number 2. Number 1, the Yankees. This is their 3rd week at number 1, their 2nd straight. They're at 145 run differential. It's not even fair at this point. And like Sammy said, if Garrett Cole's getting going, this might be an ugly season for Red Sox fans. Oh, well.
I mean, not only that. I mean, if you look at their month of June, they've only lost twice all month. Then not only are they the best team, but they remain the hottest team. Just because you have the best team doesn't mean you play well. But they have continued to basically thrash everybody they've played. Beat Toronto in Toronto, Tampa in Tampa, and it doesn't seem to matter who you put in front of them. They just mow everybody down.
All right. Let's get to our top 5 way too early NBA teams. The reason I did this list is because it seems like everyone's talking about the betting odds for next year. They're talking about the power rankings. So I thought it would only be fair if we did our own. So this is like a piggyback off theirs, except it's our own. So, Sammy, why don't you go first from 5 to 1? Who are your top 5 basketball teams if the season started today, tomorrow?
So I did look at the odds. I spent a little time doing research last night, probably far later than I'd like to admit. And I didn't agree with a lot of the odds. I looked at the odds and I'm like, I wouldn't bet any of these teams. They had the Suns at 9-1. I'm sorry, I'm not on that bandwagon. They had the Nets at 7-1. We don't even know what's going to happen with their roster. So my 5, number 5 for me is the Dallas Mavericks.
Wow.
A team that made a nice run this year. They have a bona fide superstar. This is a team that has an owner who very much wants to win, very involved in his team. And, I feel like they're only going to add pieces. They still need a piece or two, but they've already made one trade this offseason.
Christian Wood.
Yeah, I feel like they're a really great value, and they're not listed in the top 7 or 8 of teams in the chance to
win.
They're
20-1 with the Lakers, I think, or 14 or something like that.
It's crazy, and I like them way better than the Lakers. Again, a team that we don't know what's going to happen with their roster.
Right.
They have a bona fide core, and that's important to me. Same thing with this next team, which is the Memphis Grizzlies, another team that made a nice deep run, has a bona fide superstar, a guy who's emerging, ready to take over in the league, and young coach, young team that's only going to get better. Him and Ja and Desmond Bane as a pair are already a formidable for any defense. That this team will only get better if they add a few more pieces. Number 3 might shock a few people. A team I've never really been high on, but I do think has a lot of value going into next year is the LA Clippers. I think getting Kawhi back, who I'm not a fan of, but this is a team that was pretty good without him. I mean, they made the playoffs. They were tough in the playoffs. Adding one of the top, 10 players in the NBA to your roster is always going to boost your chances. And Kawhi, for all intents and purposes, should be back. What's up?
And because they didn't have, because they're not in my top 5, I'll tell you this: Paul George did not even play like the final game that they needed to win. Just to let you know, to your point.
Yeah. I mean, this is a team that if they come back healthy, I think they don't have a lot of turnover on their roster. Right? This is a team that we already know what they look like. They're just getting a player back. It's not the same as the Lakers, where we're not really sure what their roster is going to look like.
Right.
So I think the Clippers are a pretty good pick. Number 2 for me is the Golden State Warriors. I think they are still the best team. They just proved they're the best team, and their roster has no turnover. They have nobody to sign, no unrestricted free agents. They get everybody back next year.
Besides Kevon Looney, maybe.
I don't know that Looney's even a free
agent. I
think
they're going to sign him. I think they need him.
I know they lose Wiggins after next year, and they may lose Green after next year. But for next year, and Poole, I think those are 3 guys who are coming up who haven't been extended. Right. But for next year, they have everybody back. And so this is a team that's very formidable. And the number 1 for me is the young Boston Celtics. They were probably a year too early this year. They were the best team in the East for the second half. It's hard for me not to have them in the top 5. The only team I really wanted to put in the top 5, but found they were just short, was the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee is very good, and they just fall short of my top 5 for next year.
Wow. I see next year is gonna be stacked for parity. There's like 10 teams that might win the championship. It's really insane. Like more so than it was this year. And wow, your list just dumbfounded me. Because I was like, okay, good, you got the Mavericks. Good. I was like, Warriors are number 2, huh? It must be the Bucks. It's the Celtics.
Celtics.
Okay. Not making my list was one of the 2 NBA Finals teams, and I will not tell you who it is yet. Number 5, similar to you and same as you, the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic is that boy. He's that dude. He's that superstar. He is the guy. He does not get shut down unless it's by Andrew Wiggins, and even then, if his god-feeding teammates are making the 3-point shots, who knows? But you get it. Adding Christian Wood, it was going to be, I know people are trying to hype it up, but it's so underrated right now. He is going to be a good piece for them. He's a rebounding machine who's got an offensive repertoire that can only keep on tapping the potential of. I hope they sign Jalen Brunson back. I think that'd be great for them, but he might decide to take a boatload of money somewhere, and kudos to him. But they need him back. I'm telling you, he's a good player. Number 4, my phone just, hold on, it went into sleep mode. Oh, I should know this. Number 4, there it is. Yours, everyone's Miami Heat. I know the Heat will not make a lot of top 5s. They were like number 6 or 7 on the Yahoo Sports one. I don't care. We are a Jimmy Butler sellout 3 away from the NBA Finals. And I guarantee you, we would not turn the ball over 23 freaking times in a game 6 we had to have. It just would not happen. We are fundamentally sound, and the Warriors would have to have worked for their money. Steph Curry would not have gone off. I don't know what the hell happened to Marcus Smart. I don't care if he was limping. I don't give a crap. Steph Curry ate them alive, and Eric Spoelstra would have found a way compared to second year or first head coach Ime Udoka, who was fantastic, but come on. I'm sour right now. Number 3. Tyler Hero's going to be healthier again next year. There's Victor Oladipo, by the way, exists. And there's rumors of Spider. I don't know if I want Spider to clash with all of our guards right now, but it'd be cool. Number 3. You know what this is? These aren't stampeding deer. These are Milwaukee Bucks, baby. These are Milwaukee Bucks, baby. Okay, I'm surprised my Bucks aren't higher. I'm surprised you don't even have them. So shame on Sammy. This has been a shame on Sammy show. But seriously though, the Bucks, to me, Giannis was a Chris Middleton away from beating the Celtics as well. Yeah, I'm sour. Jason Tatum, when you piss down your leg in the NBA Finals, when you have a mama mentality, I don't know what the hell mama mentality is anymore. It's like the mama mentality, okay? Because that was garbage. What he shouldn't have the beat. He should just have mama. That's it. He's a mama's boy in that. Terrible. Shame on you. I hope his mom's still alive, low key, because I'm only seeing his father. But anyways, you get it. The Bucks are number 3 because Giannis is with Chris Middleton and the whole crew. Budenholzer's a great regular season head coach. Who knows what happens in the playoffs with a healthy team. Number 2, Warriors. I don't like putting them this high. I considered putting them at number 3. I might even do that later, but this is my way too early. Maybe in my too early edition I'll do it. But Steph Curry shot a career low in 3-point percentage this year. Let's be real. Klay Thompson was horrible in the NBA Finals. He was nowhere near. I saw a Game 6 Klay poster that looked like Darth Vader, and that was a travesty on the name of Lord Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker's little boy. Okay? Horrible. Draymond Green apparently doesn't come at you every night like he used to. He'll come at you in the NBA Finals for a couple of nights, but that's about it. And then James Wiseman, you've kind of sold me that maybe, who knows about him next year? Who knows if he's really that guy? I liked him when I saw him, but who knows? Number 1, the Grizzlies. Sammy, if I can be real with you right now, I know you got to go soon. Sammy, I believe the Grizzlies are my NBA champions right now. Do you know they were people say, well, they blew out the Warriors without Ja Morant. Yes, but imagine if they had Ja for those 2 close games. I think Grizzlies could beat the Mavericks, and I dang sure believe they could force 20 turnovers against the Celtics. Anybody can do that, apparently. I think Grizzlies are if I had to choose like a moral victory team, it'd be the Grizzlies.
I have my top 5 too. I love them that they're number 1 for you. My only concern, and it's an obvious concern for the Grizzlies, is Ja's small. And he gets banged up a lot. I mean, he plays that balls to the wall, throw himself into the fire style of game. And like, gosh, man, like I don't know that he can stay healthy for a year. He got hurt in part because of that play style. And, he's not the best shooter. He's the best playmaker probably in the whole NBA. But in order to be a playmaker, you have to throw yourself among guys who are 100 pounds heavier and trying to beat you up. I mean, what's made Steph such a great player for so long is his ability to stay away from that, right?
Move without the ball, yep.
Yeah, he eludes contact, whereas Ja goes after it. And, it's so hard for me to see him stay healthy for a whole year. If they get that, if they catch that lightning in a bottle, they are the most talented team in the West, in my opinion. But, they proved again this year that they can't stay healthy. And so, until it happens, it hasn't happened.
I also think the health of Dylan Brooks, the availability of Dylan Brooks is huge too.
Yeah. I think Bane is a star. I think Bane is great. And as number 2, that backcourt is just so tough. But until they stay healthy, I can't put them any higher than I think I have them. I think 4 where I listed them. So
I'm not mad at you, though. I think that's a great point because me and Aaron are playing the Derrick Rose game with Ja. Like I'll be honest, like it feels like he's gonna blow his ACL in a year or 2. And I'm not saying that to be mean or to be speculating an injury or to be predicting an injury. I'm just saying these things happen. And it's going to happen. He's going to tear something in a year or 2. I guarantee it. If there was a horrible bet to take on that, you might want to take it soon.
They bet that kind of stuff in like the UK, right? You can bet on injuries, I think.
That's horrible. That's awful. Anthony Davis is minus 500.
I don't know the chances of him blowing an ACL or an MCL, but I'm just more worried about the wear and tear on his body. I mean, he's hitting guys who are 100 pounds heavier than him almost nightly. And it's got to wear him out after a while. I mean, they already give him rest days throughout the season. He missed a bunch of games during the regular season last year, and I just don't see him lightening up that load. If he doesn't shoot the ball better and become more of a elusive player in that regard, I just don't know how they can play that way for a full season. If he can, they will be tough. But health is one of those things where if you're betting on or against health, you should be better off betting against it in this situation.
We'll have to put on our British captain hats next time. Sammy, will I see you tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be the rest of the week.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much. I didn't realize how much I missed you until now. It's been real. Thank you for those lists. And tomorrow's hump day, so be ready, be prepared. It's time. Thanks, Sammy.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great day.
When we come back, I'm throwing Steph Curry again. Can't get him out of my mouth. We'll be right back. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
If you host a podcast or run a small business, it can be hard spreading the word. Friends want to check it out, but they might not, or they might not remember. So it's time to help them remember and grow your brand with Popl, P-O-P-L. Popl is an easy-to-use but high-tech digital business card. You can get your Popl using the code AMDRIVE for 20% off. Set up your links and share. Don't worry. People you share it with will not even need a Popl, so it makes it that much better. So when you get your Popl in Pop Socket keychain, even credit card format, enter the code AMDRIVE in all caps for 20% off your order on popl.co. Steph Curry, as part of a controversial championship parade with the Warriors, said, "What will they say now?" and added like 3 or 4 question marks. I'll be the first to admit Steph Curry played really well against a Celtics team. It seemed like they just did not know what they were up against in the NBA Finals. The Warriors' experience showed up and showed out, and one of those players who did that was Steph Curry himself. But what will they say? Oh boy, I can only, let's see here. John Morant's injury. Chris Paul injury. There's some other guys too. There's trying to think of the meme where like it shows all Kyrie Irving injury. I mean, what the heck, man? How many times does this man have to beat injured opponents and get credited for it? See, when LeBron James plays a good opponent, they're like stacked on stacks, and there's no one even bruised. Okay. Steph Curry wins his 4th ring, and they might be the 4 easiest rings I've ever seen in my life. Does he deserve credit? Sure, he does. We're recruiting Kevin Durant. Come on, man. That matters. Unlike people want to say, those 2 rings matter. They hold less weight than other rings, okay? I don't care how much nicer your little championship bling might look, but it matters when you go up against bigger, better opponents, okay? It just does. The NBA is full of superstars, and when superstars can't play and you beat them, that doesn't feel right to me. Yes, you won the championship. Kudos to you. But what will they say now? You didn't shut up a damn soul, sir. You have, just like Barry McCockern on Twitter says, you have as many finals MVPs as Paul Pierce, who's a laughingstock, and Chauncey Billups, who won a system finals MVP ring because he just happened to be on the Pistons in 2004. Seriously. Now, Billups was a good player, but I know damn well nobody's putting him in the greatest point guard ever conversation. Guys, stop with your hyping in the moment bullcrap, okay? What will they say now? Well, I got a lot of things to say, Steph Curry. And Steph Curry, and then this little sleeping thing he does is complete stupidity. Like, you beat Jason Tatum, who's completely babied in the entire series. He was horrible. You did not make many. I don't know if you made any shots when your team was down 1 late in the 4th quarters. Okay, there were some times when Steph Curry went off. When the Celtics came back, where was Steph Curry? Because he went missing after that. He went missing. What will they say now? Well, that's a great question, Steph. Keep asking yourself that. Let me tell you. I'm just saying, these things have to be said in sports conversations. People say, well, you won the championship. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does. The reason why sports talk matters is because it is part of the entertainment value of sports. It's why I do what I do. It's why Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless do what they do. Because it's part of the entertainment value. Part of the entertainment is me and others talking and raising concerns about things that seem to be set in stone but need context, because context matters. So what will they say now? Context matters, Stephen Curry. Apparently he's like a junior. His name is like Wardell. I think his dad's name is Dell, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know why that just came to my head just now, but it's interesting to think that he's a Curry Jr. Maybe it'd look bad if he was the one with the junior and Seth wasn't. Oh, love it. Hey, we had a great show today. It was fun talking to Sammy and picking his brain. But tomorrow, the show must go on with Hump Day. Mike. Love it. That was my camel impression. Horrible, I know. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Follow us at AM Drive TV. We got big things coming. Oh, by the way, Friday, if you'll remember, we had Kyle Guy on months ago. I believe it was like when our show first kind of started. Well, Kyle Guy's going to be joining me and Sammy. I know he's got something coming up, but we're 99% sure that Kyle Guy is making a return to the AM Drive. He is a national champion, a most outstanding player. He played well for the Miami Heat. He dropped a bunch of points in the G League. I'm interested to see how Kyle Guy is doing since we last talked to him. So thanks so much. That's on Friday, but tomorrow is Hump Day, and you'll be tuning into that as well. So, for Aaron Crouch and Sammy Action, I am Michael Carvelis, and you better drive safe. Have a good one. Bye. See you tomorrow.